Hello, everyone. This is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I am back with you today to talk about KDP keywords. Okay, so if you haven't heard me before, please stop by my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, do all those great things. And if you're here to learn about Kindle Direct Publishing and how to publish low content books and how to make your publishing better, this is the right channel for you. All right, so I said we were going to talk about KDP keywords, and that's what we're going to talk about. I do want to give you a preview of upcoming stuff. In the next episodes, I have some really awesome, crazy, unique, creative ideas for Kindle Direct Publishing books. And they're kind of, I would actually say, more medium to even if you, it's not really high content, but more medium content, just maybe to high content, depending on who you are and your ideas. But I have some super crazy ideas that I think would be great. They definitely would take a lot more time, but I think it's something that you could charge more, that you could do advertising, and I just think it would be some great creative stuff. So, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see that. All right, so keywords. We're going to talk about those today. And what I have here is an example. So this is not one of my planners, homeschool lesson planner. I just took that cover picture from Amazon so I could give you kind of an idea how I do my keywords. So first we're going to talk about kind of my method, what I put in the 7 keyword boxes to kind of help focus myself. And then I'm going to show you some places and some ideas I get keywords from. So this example is homeschool lesson planner. Okay, so something about keywords is you do not need to repeat keywords. In fact, Amazon does not like when you repeat keywords at all, especially in the title and subtitle. So this was homeschool lesson planner, right? As it shows on the cover, that would be the title. You're supposed to match the title exactly to your what's on the cover, okay? And so that's what this is, homeschool lesson planner. Matches exactly, Amazon will be happy with that. Now, for my subtitle, I was thinking something like organizer for distance learning students. See how I am using keywords like distance learning? Maybe you could use online distance learning or something like that, or just other words that are synonyms and you could say it in a sentence. So homeschool lesson planner, and then I was thinking I'd even put for the subtitle and organizer for distance learning students, but the and really isn't necessary. So organizer for distance learning students, or you could put record keeping book for distance learning students, or record keeping tracker for online students or for students. You just have to kind of play with it, but you're trying to make it sound like a sentence. You're not trying to keyword stuff, but you are trying to use different words than used in the title. Okay, so that's really important. Now, for those 7 keyword boxes, you do not have to repeat keywords. In fact, I try and avoid repeating any keywords, and I don't use any what I would call connector words for, the, of, and small words like that. The connector words are not necessary in the 7 keyword boxes. Now, in my subtitle, organizer for distance learning students, yes, because it's a subtitle. They're going to see it, the customer, and so that sounds good, right? It just sounds like it would be something that a customer would read and when it makes sense. So since the customer is seeing it, I want to make sure that it reads properly. But the back end keywords, the customer is not going to see, only Amazon's algorithm. And Amazon's algorithm does not care about those small little keywords like of, the, and. It doesn't care about any of that. In fact, it doesn't even care about plurals. So if you write student or students to the Amazon algorithm, same word, okay? It's smart enough to know that plurals is the same thing. All right, so how do I do these 7-word keyword boxes? Now, I kind of have this structure for myself, but it is just a structure, okay? It's to help me when I'm trying to do keywords. So I start with type of interior for the first box, niche and sub-niche, cover specific, who it's for, what's my target market, what the market might use it for. So other things they might use it for, search phrases, specific words, or other keywords. All right, so those are kind of help me. Now I go through and I fill these out as best I can. And then if I have, like, for example, this one, tutor, parents, teacher, gift. See how this is short? These are not filled out to how many letters you have. You want to stuff those until you run out of space. When Amazon won't let you type anymore, you don't want to put any more. But if you have space like this, you can add keywords that maybe you're lacking. But I was just trying to show you an example of how I would fill out these 7 keyword boxes. So my example is homeschool lesson planner. Number 1, type of interior. I use synonyms and things that maybe they would be searching for that type of interior, and I'm not going to repeat the keywords I've already used, or I'm going to try very hard not to. Occasionally I will, and I know a lot of people want to use long tail keywords. If you have long tail keywords that make sense, definitely put them in, but you do not have to repeat keywords. So I have kind of a list. Sometimes there'll be phrases. It just kind of depends how it comes out. This ended up being more like a list than long tail keyword phrases, though there's a few. All right, so type of interior, undated, weekly, monthly, record book, tracker. Those are other words that I think they might be searching for instead of homeschool lesson planner. Maybe they're looking for homeschool tracker, homeschool like weekly tracker. Maybe they're looking for undated. If it's dated, then have dated. If it's undated, have undated. Be accurate in what it is. Don't try and deceive the customer, because Amazon does not like that. You want to show exactly what it is. So in this case, I was doing like an undated one. It might be in the last keyword box, you'll see agenda July through June. It may have the months, but they may not be dated, so that they could use this the next year, or maybe if they only used half of it, they could use the other half the next year because it would be undated. So this is just an example. Now, number 2 is niche and sub-niche. So, or niche and sub-niche. This is kind of if you have it, geared down for something. This homeschool planner is, it's kind of girly. It's for a girl or a teenager, or maybe middle school. Maybe it could be for a woman, like the mom, right? She would be tracking her kids' homeschool lesson planner, right? So this is kind of sub-niche towards the female audience. So I would have words like teen, girl, teenager, middle, high school, right? Because middle school, high school, I don't need to repeat the word school, and woman. Now, for cover specific, that's where I put in, some people are looking for pink planner. Okay, so these are where I describe actually physically what is on the cover so that I can get those keywords in if someone is searching for cat homeschool planner. Like if there was a picture of a cat on here, this is where I would put cat, kitten, cute cat, things like that. That's what I would put. So in this particular example, colors, black, white, it has stripes, flowers, because there's flowers, pink and purple. Okay, so those are the things I would put on there. Now, who this is for, number 4, it could be for a tutor, it could be for a parent, a teacher, it could be a gift for a mom, it could be a gift for the teacher, parent, student. You could even put dad in here, though like I said, this is really geared towards females, so maybe dad isn't a very good keyword to put in here. So that's kind of a waste of keywords. But if you can think of other words for maybe tutor or teacher, educator, maybe that's a good word, something like that. Now, number 5, what market might you use, what they might use it for. Okay, so this is kind of a longer tail keyword, independent study, education, or independent education studying. I found kind of, when I looked up on Google, different words for homeschool, like synonyms and that sort of thing, independent study came up. But I thought, oh yeah, independent education, independent study, I think I saw independent study curriculum, right? So those would be long tail type keywords that are synonyms to homeschool or synonyms to distant learning, that sort of thing. But those are words that, you could definitely use. Search phrases. Okay, so then I started going, okay, what are other things people might be searching for? Oh, the word online, courses, schooling, assignment log. Let's say that I saw some people searching for assignment log. So I thought, okay, if I have an assignment log in my homeschool planner, then I would want to put that in as a descriptor. If someone's looking for a homeschool planner with assignment log, there we go. They would find my book, hopefully. Other words, a lot of people do the academic year. So an agenda from July to June academic year. Okay, so those are words that people are searching for, that June, July, or academic year, things like that are things that people search for in this particular niche because the academic year tends to go in America from July to June. Or people start planning that sort of thing in July and go to June. All right, so coordinator, I just kind of threw that word in because I saw a lot of things like organizer, coordinator. That's kind of another word. I would also go through it and fill out, like I said, if I found any other keywords, individual words, I would add and make sure to fill up those keyword boxes as much as I can. So I would just definitely on the end of mom here, I would definitely have some space and I would find some keywords to fill that in. All right, so how do I find these keywords? One of the first places I go is, yes, shockingly, Amazon. Amazon is a fantastic place to find keywords. So I start typing things in like home school planner, and I have the self-publishing titans, and I also have AMZ suggest. So it gives me keywords before, keywords after. And so I start looking online. Now, remember how I was talking about sub-niching? See this one that says homeschool planner 2021, 2022, multiple kids? Spiral bound. Now you can't do spiral count, but you could definitely do a particular homeschool planner that is focused on multiple kids. Or you'll see there's one that says homeschool planner for one child. Okay, so those could be keywords, and depending on what you are creating, you would want to maybe use those types of keywords if that's what describes your book accurately. Don't put words that don't describe your book accurately. You want to be forthcoming. That's what Amazon likes. They don't want the customer to be deceived. So if you're just putting keywords in there to get your book found, you are doing yourself a disservice because people will click on it. They will be upset that they thought it was for multiple kids and it's only for one, and they're going to either give you low ratings or they're going to click off your book, and it's going to train the Amazon algorithm that nobody wants this book. So you want to make sure to be honest and accurate in your keywords. But go through here and start finding words that make sense. Calendar, I didn't include that, so maybe in that spot where I had extra space, I put calendar. Or maybe I want to do 2021 to 2022. In my case, I had it as undated, so those wouldn't be keywords for me because I had an undated planner. The nice thing about dated versus dated, you're going to get more specific keyword searches, but you're going to have to renew those every single year. Whereas an undated, you can put it on Amazon once and you don't have to update it. So I just go through and start looking. Do I have a grade book? Remember we were talking about an assignment log? Well, if I had a grade book or something like that, I could put that as a keyword within my book. So I just go through here and look and see, okay, what have I had? What do I need to add? Sometimes I'll even use these keywords to decide what I should have in my book, because I'll be like, oh, people are actually searching for a multiple kid planner. That might be a really good thing to do. And you could do some research and to see if that's a really good idea for you. But these are ways to get ideas for keywords. Another great way I find keywords is on book bolts. So I had typed in homeschool and I got homeschool planner and I got a bunch of keywords here. I guess a lot of ones were called homeschool mama planner, or they had mama or homeschooling mama, something like that. So if you had that on the cover, that might be something. Chaos coordinator, no, that's really popular and trending, but like anything, some trends, if you overdo it, you're not going to get any more. You're just not going to stand out, right? If everyone's doing it, yours isn't going to look any different. So you might want to focus on something a little bit different. So I would just go through here and see if there's any keywords that I haven't gotten. I also look through here because it's kind of the short and condensed list of this to see if there's anything that I want to add. Another way I do is I go to Publisher Rocket and I just type in homeschool. I just typed in homeschool because I like being very general on Publisher Rocket because it gives me a lot of interesting ideas. Homeschool essential, family fitness, maybe a homeschool planner for family fitness. That might be an interesting one. I don't know. You'd have to do the research. But you could have space for field trips. You could have one specifically. Remember how we're talking about sub-niching and I had mine with sub-niche for girls, but what about a homeschool for first graders? So you'd want to make it specific. The cover should be for first graders. The interior kind of, the curriculum obviously for a first grader is fairly simple compared to that of a high schooler. So you would definitely have maybe a more simplistic interior, but you would want to tailor your book to be for that. So like here's all the different ideas. I just go through here and see if there's anything that I should include, anything that I maybe want to add for keywords, or even this gives me some ideas on things that maybe I would want to make in the future. So I definitely like Publisher Rocket as well. And that's kind of how I go through and do keywords. A lot of it does end up being just kind of looking on Amazon. And I did want to show you something since we were talking about homeschool planners, and I want to show you something that people kind of fall into a trap. So here's some homeschool planners, but what you'll notice is everybody kind of is putting flowers. And I know flowers are very typical because a lot of females tend to buy homeschool planners, right? But you want yours to stand out. So you want it to look different. And whereas this one looks different, I'm not really impressed with it because it looks really simplistic. These kind of look pretty good. But what I like to do is niche down, meaning like that idea for homeschooler for first grader. Then you could have a first grade, first graders are number one homeschool planner or something like that. I try and niche down. Another way would be like a specific religion or Christian or something like that. A lot of homeschooling families are Christian families, so you could research different religions that do that or different, you could put quotes in there, things like that. That might be something that would make yours stand out. That's how I kind of niche down. I think, what can I do to make it different from everybody else, yet still look really good, look really pretty. Here, I was talking about that homeschooling, if they wanted homeschool planner with cats, well, here's a homeschool planner with a dog. So if someone really loved dogs, maybe this would be the type of homeschool planner they would want. Just as a side note, I don't really like this type, and they could have done a little bit better on the background. The dog is really cute though. So, you want it to look very professional. This one right here, see, I know this is a spiral bound and it is obviously a professional one, but look, it looks really professionally done, whereas this doesn't quite look that, but I do like the dog picture. So you really just need to kind of go through and see what's out there and kind of decide on something that would make yours stand out, but yet still look professional. And that does take some effort and time. All right, so I hope this was really helpful for you. We looked a little bit kind of at the homeschool niche in this particular video, but how you kind of do it, I mean, I know there's this keyword score here, but I've been flipping through pages, so this doesn't necessarily mean anything. But don't worry about this score so much. How can you focus down when you're creating something that makes it interesting and unique? Like this one right here. This is my adventure. This is kind of an interesting take, a very nice picture of an astronaut. So someone who is interested in, astronaut or something like that, or space, this would be a great one for. Oh, here's some extra words. Remote, hybrid, right? These are great goal setting for students. Some of these are some great keywords that if yours would tailor that to, that you could add those to your book. So those are kind of the things I wanted to talk about and show you. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will talk to you next week. Bye.